the snow gonna stop? In other news of technology, it's pretty rare that we get huge technological breakthroughs in human society. Typically, it's just a fraction of additional knowledge from the last person. I think Isaac Newton said it best, and perhaps then later Albert Einstein. We are merely standing on the shoulders of giants. So it's incredibly rare that you'll have a huge moment where you'll go from nothing to something. Usually it's nothing, a little bit more than nothing, a little bit more than that, a little bit more than that, 2 steps back, and then finally big progress. I mean, look at the history of the Manhattan Project and how much resources it took to finally come up with a mechanical device that represents the theory of the splitting of the atom. Huge amount of money, huge amount of resources, and this was 1940s money. So anyways, this company called Helion has come out with a new fusion reactor, and it's called the Plasma Accelerator. This is exciting, all right? We're talking about light years ahead that of the closest nuclear reactor in energy output. And in case you're not familiar with fusion reaction, this is basically the effort of taking energy from the reaction of taking 2 atoms and crashing them into each other, and then that energy that comes from those 2 atoms basically capturing the thermal effect of that and using it to power probably steam water or something that turns a turbine, which in turn turns an electrical device. Very similar to our closest star, also known as the sun. It has a fusion reactor that is very, very powerful, and we are constantly trying to imitate that. Folks, if we get a fusion reaction, it's going to be incredible. While we've been struggling to really get one of any level of efficiency, all of these countries and research agencies have been putting into a traditional design that's kind of like one big tank, and they try to get a fusion reaction in this tank. It just has been a very slow progress. So long story short, here comes the company Helion, and they have a new plasma accelerator. This is great because it basically takes 2 rings of plasma, shoots them at each other in the center, and a bunch of magnet coils trap it right there and generate that of which you saw in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, with Doc Ock. Now, this was exposed in the movie and very fictional, very exaggerating. The damage that this guy did to New York City was long already done. That's why they had to reboot the Spider-Man franchise, because Doc Ock totally screwed up New York City. They didn't tell you this in the movies, but oh, dude, he screwed this up. This is a fundamental different design. On the other hand, like I said, you have a big tank that they're trying to create all this energy in, and they're struggling. And then Helion comes along with a completely new design and eradicates the old design. Now, I bet all the other companies, especially like in France and Switzerland, they've spent millions and millions and even billions of dollars in some cases on these new designs just to be like, oh man, we're gonna have to tear this down and start all over again. I mean, Helion did such a fantastic job at representing where the future is going. If any of these companies or organizations continue forth on that design, they're gonna cause some problems in the future and be wasting a lot of money. Let's just give it up for Helion. Not only do they have a freaking cool name, but they're actually making real progress in fusion technology. But then again, it's like that old highway argument for the engineers, right? If you have 2-lane highway and it's constantly gridlocked with cars, and you open up 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes of roads, there's the theory that all these cars start going back to the highway because it's now available, and then it returns to gridlock. So you get an extra lane, but other drivers decide to go ahead and use the highway because they've opened up a lane. So why not? But then we're back to square zero, where it's a traffic jam with 6 different lanes on the highway. So everyone right now is like, oh, what if we have unlimited energy? It's gonna break everything. The world's gonna freak out. We're gonna do all this stuff. It's like a kid being left home for the first time when his parents are walking out and they leave him with a full cabinet of liquor and say, don't party. But if you do party, we basically have unlimited liquor. Now, while the unlimited liquor part may be true, trust me, your son and or daughter is going to consume 2/3 of it before you get back and fill those bottles up with water. What I'm getting at is, even though humans have possibly tapped into the era of unlimited energy, unlimited clean energy, mind you, we're still probably going to find a way to use every last drop. I mean, these 4K videos, they're not going to download themselves. Just wait till we get into 8K and 12K. Oh, that's right, I said it, 12K. Mark my words.